So, kind of piggybacking off of what I was saying earlier about how startups are really negatively affected by this whole patent process, especially dealing with patent trolls. Um, Later on in the lecture, I remember our guest speaker saying how with not only do startups face a lot of attacks from NPEs, but they also themselves don't really tend to file for patents themselves. And for me, like I would assume that being a startup, having a brilliant idea, whatever it is, that you would want to immediately file the patent as soon as possible, right? But what I found out in class, apparently startups don't really tend to file patents for their ideas. And the results that were given in class basically said that over 60, I mean almost 60% of the top reason why startups don't file per patent is because they don't have enough funds for it. So I decided to do some outside research on what that exactly meant as not having enough funds to file for patents. And so I went on looking around, and I went on this website called TechCrunch, which is like a really, really known site. And I found out that only 1/3 of all funded companies filed a patent application, and 19% of all funded companies filed at least one patent application prior receiving any funding at all. So you could actually see now why startups don't file patents, because of the fact that they would have to file it before they even receive the funding. And since 2005, average startup has become less likely to apply for patents, and companies in the semiconductor industry are most likely to apply for patents, and companies in e-commerce are least likely as in 10%. So among the firms that have invested in at least 100 companies, those with the most patent pursuers in their portfolios, like DAG Ventures and Menlo Ventures, and basically we see that like there's a lot of reasons why um, dealing with money, why startups couldn't really allocate to really kind of patent their ideas. And for me personally, like that's really, really um, heartbreaking actually, because um, like I said earlier, as a software engineer, I really want to be able to make sure that my idea is going to be secure. And for me, in this class, I learned that the best way to do it is to file a patent and to build your own portfolio, like the guest speaker said. But honestly, that's really hard if I don't have enough funds to do it. And after doing all the research, like the statistics I've gathered um, from startups on filing patents, that's really, really alarming to me. And I'm not even sure how some startups actually have the funding to file a patent, given that most of them don't receive any funding until they file the patent. So um, it is a huge risk because you're using a lot of your own money, or if not almost all of your own money, to patent an idea that might or might not get funded. So it is a bit risk, and I now understand why a lot of startups don't file for patents.